Have you ever heard of a problem so insurmountable, so complex, that the brightest minds in the world just threw their hands up in defeat? Well, let me tell you a story about exactly that, and the extraordinary individual who came out of nowhere to prove that sometimes the impossible is just waiting for the right person to come along. Picture this. The year was 2008, and the tech industry was facing what seemed like an unsolvable encryption challenge. The biggest companies had their best engineers working on it. Google had a team of 50 people. Microsoft threw millions at the problem. Even independent coding geniuses from around the world tried their hand at it. But nothing, absolutely nothing worked. This wasn't just any ordinary puzzle. The implications were huge. We're talking about the future of secure internet communications, banking systems, and personal data protection. The pressure was mounting, and the frustration was palpable. Some experts even started claiming that maybe we had reached the limits of what technology could achieve. Then, on a random Tuesday morning, an email arrived from someone nobody had ever heard of. The sender? A middle-aged librarian from Minnesota named David Peterson. No fancy degrees, no Silicon Valley background, just a guy who loved solving puzzles in his spare time. At first, everyone dismissed it. I mean, come on. If the top minds in tech couldn't crack it, what chance did a librarian have? But here's where it gets interesting. David had approached the problem completely differently. While everyone else was trying to build complex solutions, he found elegance in simplicity. Using nothing but basic mathematics and a unique perspective that only an outsider could bring, David solved in 3 weeks what teams of experts couldn't crack in 3 years. His solution was so brilliant in its simplicity that when the tech giants reviewed it, they were speechless. But here's the real kicker. When asked how he did it, David simply said, "I just looked at it differently." Sometimes the hardest problems don't need the most complicated solutions. He didn't want fame or fortune. He just saw a puzzle that needed solving and decided to give it a shot. This story teaches us something profound about human potential. Sometimes the most groundbreaking achievements don't come from where we expect. They come from people who dare to think differently, who aren't bound by conventional wisdom or the way things are done. So the next time someone tells you something is impossible, remember David, the librarian from Minnesota. Remember that the impossible is just waiting for someone who doesn't know it's impossible. Because sometimes that's exactly what it takes, someone who's crazy enough to try.